conservative comedian and host of the popular podcast Louder with Crowder, Steven Crowder. And finally, journalist and senior editor at Breitbart.com, Milo Yiannopoulos.
I am too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party. No way, I'm just go dancing. I'm a model, you know what I mean. And I do my little turn on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk.
Okay, thank you all three for coming. At this point, we're gonna invite the speakers to the top of the stage to have some opening remarks. So if we'd like to start with, sure, go for it.
I am too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party. No way, I'm just go dancing. You're fucking white male. You know what I mean.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for. That's very strange.
Please, thank you for your enthusiasm. Thank you for your enthusiasm. If we could get on with the show. Thank you.
Given how firmly I believe in affirmative action in my bedroom, that's a very strange allegation, madam. I've taken some time out of my busy schedule, being fabulous and doing my hair, to prepare a speech for you. Well, a few remarks, really. Feminism is cancer. Thank you very much.
I am too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party.
At both schools, students organized a safe space where they could flee if someone was panicked by my words. And during my talk, 30 women and a therapy dog fled to a safe space. I triggered a dog. I feel bad about that. Now,
One more disruption and we'd have to ask you to leave the venue.
my free speech! Now, wait. In 2015, there was a conference in London of feminist leaders from all over Great Britain, and the participants were advised not to clap. They were told that clapping could be trigger anxiety or pain in speakers. Instead, the conference attendees were told to use something called feminist jazz hands. Milo, can you demonstrate feminist jazz hands?
Yes, I can. I'm going to give you a demonstration of feminist jazz hands. Can I come up here because I need my hands? So, madam, we're going to get through this show whether you like it or not. So to explain feminist jazz hands, I'll give you a few different variants because even the standard jazz hands can be triggering for some. Now, if you want to add a little pizzazz to your jazz hands, you can upgrade them to pizzazz hands, which is a way that some feminists express their displeasure. There are, of course, for the lesbians in the audience, scissor fingers. And if you feel particularly excited on any given occasion, you can use sizzle fingers, which I like to do something like this, which is the tearing away of the old patriarchal superstructure and the replacement of it with whatever the fuck you guys believe in.
I'm too sexy for your party.
Today's millennials, you're going to have to decide. Is yours going to be the generation that stands by as your basic freedoms are stripped away, where you can't go and hear a speaker? My best guess is that the millennials, like every generation before them, they're going to rally, they're going to defend their liberties, and I already see signs of resistance. I just hope it's not too late. Thank you.
Please, please. Mr. Crowder, if you'd like to make your opening.
Let's hear it for UMass Republicans putting this on. Come on, let them know you love him. Let's hear it for Milo. Let him know you love him. Let's hear it for Miss Summers. Let her know you love her. Time to listen up, you silly liberal fruitcakes. I came out here, I wanted to tell some jokes. Let's do some reality checks here. Do you have any idea, sir, how pathetic it must be to be you? These people wanted to come out and have a good time, hear a few jokes, some thoughtful discussion, but your head pops off the pillow in the morning with, oh, how can I be a professional victim today? Let me go in.
You're fucking a white male!
And screw with their act just because, oh my God, your parents didn't tell you that your opinion wasn't worth that much. Look, they're confused. They're confused. You know why? Because I'm not your gender studies professor who has to cater to your trigger warning, microaggression, safe space bullshit. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to come out and tell a few jokes. You created this monster. We have to go. 10 more minutes of this. Let this reverberate. Let it be a life lesson. This monster right here that you're so afraid of, the face you see in your nightmares, was created by social justice warrior assholes like you. And now you have this wonderful faggot. That's what happens. We okay? We good? Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Darling, you can call me what you like.
Oh, okay, there we go. Crying out loud, listen. Nobody here wants to hear your opinion that much. And here's what's so crazy. You couldn't wait 5 minutes. Unlike leftists, we have an open panel and a Q&A session because we want an open idea. Oh, I'm a racist. There you go. That's a new one. Where'd you learn that one in Social Human Studies 101? Right next to the giant, I don't know, wild boar I couldn't see who said there's no such thing as fat chicks. Guess what? If you think there aren't, you are one, okay? Did he just make a fat joke? Yeah, I did. And no, it's okay, because I got some here, so screw you. I have a faggot pass and a fat pass today. We wanted to come out here and tell a few jokes. We wanted to have a thoughtful discussion. We want an open conversation of ideas. You guys can't be grown adults enough to literally wait 10 minutes to the point where we open the floor. And unlike leftists, guess what? We don't try and ban you when your speakers come to school. We don't show up and protest and call them, oh, shut up, you just got owned and now you're trying to come back 5 minutes later. It's like George... The jerk store called, they're running out of you, George Costanza, you androgynous little amoeba. And by the way, these opinions you're yelling out, they're not even your opinions. They're your opinions from your gender studies professor, and the really reason you picked it was because you thought it was your best chance at getting laid. You just decided to walk on in to try and pick up chicks at the San Francisco retread pot-smoking drum circle, only to realize that your very glance in the direction of a woman causes a barren womb. Oh, you think this is gonna get better? No. Is he gonna check his privilege? That's not going to happen. I don't want to come out here and give someone the finger, but it's because they walk out and this chick is start a show like that. This is absurd. At least when you go back to like Christina Hoff Sommers' days, self-professed Democrats, hippies, the retreads that you guys want to be, at least they thought they were fighting the system. They thought they were trying to create transparency. They really thought they were for free speech. You people are openly and completely against it. You're not fighting for free speech. You're not fighting for rights. You're fighting for the right to be a pussy and not hear opinions that you don't like.
Hey, so actually, I was going to ask about chalk as well, because we just recently had an incident on this campus about a week and a half ago. where someone actually wrote "Stop Islam" on one of the buildings, like really, really big. They did like a detailed art piece for it. And so you, Milo, you said the best way to deal with people you don't agree with is to give them the full spotlight. And you, Christina, is you said no intellectual diversity at an institution of higher education. And I'm sorry, you spoke so fast I couldn't quote you. But so my question for you is that in light of Trump coming out and talking against Islam, rates of violence against Islam rising about 418% in this time period, higher than they were after 9/11, which is amazing. They're higher than after 9/11. We saw a lot of repercussions on this campus about a week ago, where some of my friends got beat up, where people got threatened over the Stop Islam. And so I'm wondering where you guys think that opinions turn into hate speech and where that line should be drawn.
Well, your Muslim friends got beaten up because of chalk?
Amazingly, one of my friends who's not even Muslim was defined as Muslim because he dressed a certain way, and he's changed the way he dresses now.
Well, listen, nobody would ever condone beating somebody up because they dress a certain way. By the way, sometimes when I say stuff, it's a joke, okay? We used to be able to make those. Listen, if people want to talk about stopping rape culture, in the time you just took to ask that question, there were probably a dozen women who were raped in the name of Islam in the Middle East right then. And there were tons of people killed. So listen, no one is condoning violence against Islam. Obviously it's a silly litmus test as far as Donald Trump saying ban all Muslims, and it makes it hard for people like me who argue against the ideology of Islam. I think if you want to learn about the ideology of Islam, open the Quran, read 5 pages in any direction, and you will be... Yeah, we've had Muslims on my show. Okay? No, it's not my problem. It's my opinion. I don't like it. I didn't speak on your behalf. I talked about the Quran. Guess what? I wasn't there for the French Revolution. I can talk about it.
Everybody has a right.
And
If people are beating up Muslims, that's bad. The ideology of Islam has been bad for the last several decades, and it's not hate speech to say so. It's not racist. It's an ideology in a prescribed form of religion and law, and I don't like it.
Like any other set of ideas, Islam is a set of ideas, and like any other set of ideas, we are perfectly entitled to interrogate it and find it wanting. I personally find it wanting. I would also like to say, as a gay person, I am fucking terrified by mass Muslim immigration because the homophobia in the Islamic community, in the Ummah, is not restricted to terrorists. It is not restricted to ISIS. 51% of British Muslims believe that gay sex should be against the law. This is not Muslims in Syria. This is not Muslims in Raqqa. This is Muslims who live 3 streets away from me. Every other one of them believes that my lifestyle should be illegal. 39% of British Muslims believe that a woman should always obey her husband. Where the fuck are feminists on that? 25%. 25% of British Muslims believe that Sharia law should be instituted, which under certain circumstances treats a woman's...
Milo, he's trying to narrow in on a question.
Well, I'm going to finish. Treats a woman's testimony as worth half of a man's. The Queers for Palestine, possibly the stupidest people to walk the face of the earth, overlook the statistic that 97% of Palestinians believe that homosexuality is an unacceptable lifestyle choice. I'm not scared by terrorists, I'm scared by Islam.
Moving on to our next question here.
When does free speech become hate speech is the basic question, right? Yeah, that's a silly question. Hate speech is a figment of your imagination. If someone says something you don't like, you don't get to label it hate speech. That's it. No, call to action is not allowed. If I say, hey, I'm going to punch you in the face, and I do it, that's not speech, that's an action. If someone says, gosh, I really don't like your face, and it would be nice if it were punched, but I would never do it, is very different. People should be able to say what they want. If you don't like it, walk out, change the channel. We don't believe in hate speech. We answered your question. Leave. Who was beat up because of what I said? Your friend was beat up because of something that I said? That's what we call being unable to substantiate an argument, Mr. Tank Top. Get out.